have seen lately on some conservative Instagram stories that Democrat-run cities are pushing a globalist agenda that includes phasing out motor vehicles, limiting clothing consumption. Listen, now you're messing with my bacon and my clothes. Banning meat, which would include bacon, by the way, in case you hadn't put that together.
Yeah, and I'm a carnivore, so that's just not going to make me happy.
Not going to work. But the corporate media says this is false. They did a fact check on the reporting done by Federalist reporter Evita Duffy Alfonso, but these fact checks were just plain wrong. Evita Duffy Alfonso is uncovering the radical leftist agenda over at the Federalist, and she joins us now. Evita, it's so great to see you. Evita, what are these leftist-run cities up to, and are we really going to see a day where they ban meat consumption?
No.
Well, if they have their way, we will. So there's this organization called C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group, and it's this globalist climate organization, supported by the WEF, run by Michael Bloomberg, and they have an ambitious target, like you said, of by the year 2030, no meat consumption, no dairy consumption, no private vehicle ownership, and limits on air travel and clothing consumption. So really radical goals that they have. I reported on it in the Federalist, and I made an Instagram reel about it, and Instagram put a fact check on it, said that my reporting was false, but they, instead of actually addressing my reporting in the fact check, they addressed a completely separate media website, a completely separate Instagram user who did get some facts slightly wrong, and then they used that person to put a fact check on me, even though my reporting was 100% accurate. And that's sort of the sly, really underhand thing, that the fact checkers do all the time to conservatives. To get around to actually addressing our reporting and our statements, they will censor you, and they will do what they can to shut down opposition media.
Evita, this is just terrifying, especially when we just unfortunately had to hear from Dr. Anthony Fauci earlier resurfacing, because so many conservatives, so many media outlets, including this one, and many of the people that work for this network were shadow banned. We were accused of being conspiracy theorists when we questioned the efficacy of the vaccine and anything in regards to the pandemic. So I have to be concerned here, because what you're saying is true. I'm a little terrified of that. I mean, you talked about it too, like there were credit card companies wanting to limit your meat consumption, and we talked about digital currency and the government being able to track your every move.
Right, with the BRICS nations. Yeah.
With the BRICS nations. This is really terrifying. So how, and I hate to ask this because I'm afraid of the answer, how close are these globalists towards making this a reality, and how concerned? Again, I don't want to strike fear in any of the viewers that are watching this program, but how concerned should we be based on what your research has told you?
So, I mean, you should be really concerned. It's already happening in big blue cities across America and even across the world. And in New York City, Eric Adams has already banned meat and dairy in prisons and public schools. France has limits on short haul flights. The UK has banned gas-powered vehicles by 2030. So the goals that they've already stated they have for 2030, we're already inching toward them in C40 cities, in blue cities particularly. But it's only a matter of time before these climate goals leave the blue cities and start to affect us, who think that we're immune to it in other parts of the country, because that's their goal. This is their target. It's not fake. It's not a lie. They've told us what they want, and we should believe them when they tell us.
Well, we definitely need to get the word out there so we can let our legislative leaders know that we don't want this. Yeah, for sure. I don't see farmers like we grew up in the heartland. They're not going to go for this.